How do you describe your music?
We describe our music as a road to consciousness, you know?
Bob Marley didn't just leave the world music. He left a message, a voice for the voiceless, a spiritual fire, a revolution wrapped in rhythm. But when that voice was silenced in 1981, the question remained, who will carry the torch? Bob had 11 children, some born to different women, some born into fame, some into struggle, but only a few dared to pick up where he left off. In this story, we'll uncover the lives of Bob Marley's children and ask one powerful question: who truly inherited the fire? Let's begin with the most obvious choice, Ziggy Marley, Bob's oldest son with Rita Marley.
You know, we're all human beings here tonight. We're all human beings. And it's so good to see human beings together. No fighting, no war, you know. Just loving each other, loving music.
Ziggy grew up inside the heartbeat of reggae. He toured with his father as a child, often playing music alongside him. After Bob's death, Ziggy stepped forward as the leader of the Melody Makers, a band formed with his siblings. That song, it wasn't just reggae, it was a warning, a message, a continuation of Bob's prophecy. Ziggy won 8 Grammy Awards, carried the Rastafari philosophy in his lyrics, and even wrote children's books about peace and kindness. But while Ziggy continued the spiritual message, some critics say his sound leaned more toward mainstream pop reggae than his father's raw rebellion. Still, he earned respect not just by blood, but by fire. Then came the most explosive Marley heir, the one they called Junior Gong, Damian Marley, Bob's youngest son.
What they will, working for a dollar bill. Sad to see the old slave mill.
Born to Jamaican beauty queen Cindy Breakspear, Damian didn't grow up rich. He was only 2 when Bob passed, and yet his voice became a thunderclap. In 2005, his album Welcome to Jamrock smashed charts worldwide. It was gritty, it was rebellious, it was unapologetically Jamaican. That track, a masterpiece of social criticism. He rapped about poverty, corruption, and injustice, the very themes Bob once died speaking about. Damian collaborated with Nas, merged reggae with hip-hop, and brought the ghetto to the Grammy stage. He wasn't trying to be Bob, he was trying to be real, and in that truth, he became his father's mirror. While Ziggy led the family and Damian stormed the charts, one Marley worked silently behind the scenes, Stephen Marley, another son of Rita and Bob.
Things are not the way they used to be. I won't tell no lie.
Stephen isn't flashy, he doesn't chase fame, but he's won more Grammy Awards than any other Marley child. A total of 8 as producer and artist. He produced almost all of Damian's music and helped define the modern Marley sound. His solo albums like Mind Control and Revelation are considered reggae gold by purists. Stephen is the engine behind the Marley dynasty, not the face but the fuel. Quiet, consistent, powerful. Now meet Julian Marley, Bob's British-born son with Lucy Pounder.
Mystic blowing through the air. Tell you what, there's a natural mystic blowing.
Julian chose a quieter path, spiritual reggae, community outreach, roots-focused music. He released several albums like Awake, touching on faith, unity, and love. He's not a chart topper, but his songs feel like echoes from Bob's acoustic moments. Calm, deep, heartfelt. Julian lives less for fame and more for message. And in that, perhaps he is closer to Bob than most realize. Bob had 11 children, and while Ziggy, Damian, Stephen, and Julian carried the flame, others flickered in and out of the spotlight. Rohan Marley, for example, didn't become a musician. He became an entrepreneur, a former football player, co-founder of Marley Coffee, and partner of Lauryn Hill. Their child Zion Marley is now seen as the 3rd generation of the legacy. Kymani Marley, born in Miami, blended hip-hop, reggae, and R&B. He had hits like Dear Dad, an emotional letter to Bob. Cedella Marley, Bob's daughter, became the CEO of the Marley Group of companies, helping manage her father's global brand. Others like Sharon and Karen Marley played quieter roles. Some in music, some outside it. Some stayed close to the flame. Others chose different paths. And that's okay. Imagine carrying the name Marley. Not just a name, but a prophecy, a symbol, a global brand of revolution, music, and peace. For Bob's children, that name is both a blessing and a burden. They face constant comparison. Their every lyric, every move, every silence is watched. Some rebelled, some embraced it, some simply tried to live. As Stephen Marley once said, "We are not trying to be our father. We are trying to be ourselves. But we know the world is watching." So, who truly inherited Bob Marley's fire? Was it Ziggy, the leader, the family man, the ambassador of peace? Was it Damian, the rebel, the voice of the streets, the modern warrior? Was it Stephen, the quiet genius behind the curtain? Or was it Julian, the spiritual soul walking softly? The truth is, Bob Marley's fire wasn't meant for one person. It was a bonfire, meant to be passed on, split and spread. And each Marley child caught a spark. Together they keep the flame alive. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what Bob wanted. Hit like if Bob Marley's fire still burns in you. Comment your favorite Marley child below. And don't forget, legends never die. They multiply.
The way you something off up it away by pound. In fields of marijuana, that is my playground. And I love you, Mary Jane. You're a pretty little flowers, girl, me can't complain.